All right, so on the first step of closing a pool is we got to lower the water level. So right now the water is about halfway up the skimmer. What we want to do is we want to actually bring it down below the skimmer. So as you see, we got the skimmers running right now. We want the water level at least an inch below the skimmer. This is a vinyl liner pool. On gunite pools, you want to go below the return jets, which is a bit lower. So how we're doing this is right now we're running it through the skimmers and the main drain on waste. You can see the water over there coming out. Once it gets to the bottom of the skimmer, you're going to want to shut the skimmers off and keep the main drain running so it just draws water from the bottom of the pool. I'll show you how to do that real quick on this filter system. The other method of doing this is you can put a sump pump in, which as a pool owner you probably should have. It's a good investment. You just put that in and just let that run. So every filter system is different. They're all kind of the same concept. Usually you have your suction lines and then your return lines. This one here, they have the 2 skimmer lines and the main drain line. So right now everything's open. When the water starts getting too low, what we're going to do is we're going to shut these skimmer valves so it's just coming out of the main drain. And to do that, on these Gandy valves, you just turn so the off is facing the pipe. Basically, picture this as a wall. So right now the wall is facing the pipe, it's blocking it off. On this one, we want to turn it, you turn it so it shuts it off. So if I shut both skimmers off right now the main drain's open, the water's coming out and going right out the backwash from the main drain line. So that will continue draining the pool down. Obviously, you got to watch that, because if you forget about it, it's going to drain your whole pool out. But we're going to let that run until it gets below the skimmers, and then we'll be able to stop blowing the lines out. As far as steps to closing, we close pools with 3 guys, sometimes 4. So everybody has their own job. Obviously, we're professionals. We do this for a living. We can close a pool in 25 minutes to a half an hour. Obviously, as a homeowner, pool owner, it's going to take a lot longer. So I'll go through the steps a little bit in detail how we do it. Each man has a job. So in this video here, we actually have a bigger project going on at this pool that we're wrapping up. So don't mind some of the other work going on in the background. I got one guy working on finishing that project up. We were doing some skimmer line work. And then the 2 of us are going to be working on closing the pool. So diatomaceous earth and cartridge filters, you're going to want to take your filters out and clean them. So as you see, the filter's already out of this one. Technically, you could do this with the pool on waste. The water won't be going into the filter. So you know, like I said, we're on a time crunch, so we'll have it on waste, draining the pool or cleaning the filter. You can either shut it off completely, take it out, clean it, put it back in or whatever, or put it on waste, take it out while it's draining. That's what we're doing here. So we took the cartridge elements out. This is a DE filter, and David's over here cleaning them. So basically, you want to spray your filter down and get it as clean as possible. If it's not cleaning up good, you might want to soak it overnight. And then either store it inside, or what we do is we usually put them back in the tank. So that's your first step. Drain your water down, get your filter clean. On a sand filter, you don't have to worry about cleaning your filter. Here, I'm going to jump ahead and actually go start prepping the pool side. There's 2 basically parts to closing. There's the filter side, so winterizing all the equipment over here, which we're still draining it, so we can't do that yet. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to pull all the plugs out, drain everything, and get it ready to blow the lines out. But like I said, we're still using the system to drain it. So I'm going to show the pool side first. Doesn't matter which way you do this. You can do it either or. You can do the pool side first, prep that, and then the filter system second. Obviously you can't put the cover on until everything's blown out. So let me show you real quick to get prepped for putting the cover on and everything on the pool side. Okay, so what we use a drill with a hex head bit on it. You can also use the anchor tool for your safety cover. This is specifically for safety covers that have the anchors. If you don't have that and have water bags, completely different, so don't pay attention to any of this. And then you're going to want to take your ladders out. It's usually 90% of pools are 1/2 inch. So make sure, I usually use a longer bit, because you don't want to scrape your knuckles. So what you're going to want to do, doing this one-handed, loosen your bolts and your ladders and railings, and then they pull right out. So I'm going to put the phone down for 1 second. So same thing with the ladder, usually same size. One little tip to check before you pull these out is make sure the rubber bumpers are on these, because if they have fallen out and you try to pull it out, you're going to put the ladder right through the liner. So just be careful, double check that first thing before you do anything. I only say that because I had one of our customers do that once. Okay, I'm going to put the phone down and loosen this up. Like I said, if they're stuck, you gotta kind of wiggle on them, put some water in them. So bear with me 1 second. All right, so we're out. That one fought me a lot, but we got it out. So I'm just gonna pull this out and put it aside as well. And of course, the first one's stuck. So what you're gonna wanna do is put them up a little bit. You're gonna deal with this a lot as dirt gets stuck in them. You can see the dirt here, and they get really stuck. So what we usually do is if that's happening, if you get it up a little bit and then put it down and then kind of go back and forth, up and down, it usually loosens it. If that doesn't, you're gonna have to take the bar that comes with your cover, put it in there and kind of knock on it, put some water, and that should get it up. So you're gonna wanna go around and do every anchor on the pool. This takes a little while. That's why we use a drill. See, these are all stuck. So I'm gonna be here a little while. A lot of these older anchors get really stuck. So what you're gonna wanna do is go around the entire pool, put all the anchors up. So next up, you wanna pull your eyeballs out, your return jets. So David's grabbing that one. I'm gonna get this one. So if you see, these usually just thread right out. Sometimes, see how the top came off and not the bottom? If that's the case, and you can't get it by hand, this one I can get by hand. They make a little tool that goes in to pull these out. This one I can get out by hand. So you're gonna wanna take all that out so it's completely open so you can put the plug in. So this one has 2 returns, one here, one there. If you pull it multiple, you wanna pull all the jets off. The last step, which we've already done, is you wanna get your skimmer baskets out and the flap doors in both skimmers. We already did that and we put them in the shed already. So what we like to do is we take all the jets that come off the pool and put them in the skimmer baskets and then put them wherever the customer wants. So a lot of times we'll put them in pool sheds, in the basement, but we usually put them all together so when we come here in the spring, we can just grab them and go open the pool. So this is still draining. Gonna take a few more minutes. As you see, the filter's back together. David's got that all situated. So I'll show you guys in a few minutes how we blow everything out and winterize the filter system. That's obviously the most critical, important part. All right, so we're prepping this to close. We got the filter cleaned. We're draining it down right now. Everything's running. They got the concrete patches going in. This one's all set. David's mixing the concrete bag for the one over there. Just letting them dry. This is the fast set stuff, so hopefully it'll dry pretty quick and we can get out of here by like noon time. So that one's a little wet. That one's being mixed. Pool's all prepped. I made a separate video that I'm gonna post about closing it. So I'll probably show some clips of us closing it in this video, but we're prepping the pool as well. As you see, the ladder's out to get it closed up. And then for those of you obviously who own pools that watch the channel, if there's anything you guys want to see, have questions on, stuff like that, want me to make videos of, put it in the comments for sure. I mean, obviously we're getting towards the end of our season, so like, you know, there's certain things I might not be able to film and do till next year, but you know, if there's questions on how filter systems work, all that stuff, reach out. I mean, I have no problem making videos showing people, even if you're just interested in how everything here works. Pretty easy concept, you know, but I know there's people out there that have no clue what pools are all about, so we're here to educate and teach people. We love doing that. All right, so now that we're drained, let me show you guys what we're gonna do next. So first things first, I'm gonna take the pump basket out. There's a lot of leaves in here because it was draining. Pull that out, clean it off, and put it aside. So I'm gonna put that right there. So next things, I'm gonna pull the pump plugs, which is one on the front and one on the side. Every pump usually has 2 of them. Sometimes you can get them by hand. A lot of times you're gonna need a screwdriver or a 9/16 wrench. Let me grab a screwdriver real quick. All right, so I've got the flathead. There's a little notch in these plugs. You can put the flathead in and just take them right out. So what I like to do, see how it's draining the water? Put those in the pump basket so you don't lose them. Do the same on the side. Sometimes these are in weird angles where you can't get a screwdriver in, you need a socket or a wrench. Like this one. Alright, put that in the basket. Chlorinator's got one, so basically what you want to do, the concept is every drain plug on this system you're going to want to take off. A lot of times it is better to do this with a 9/16 socket, but I had a screwdriver in my pocket. So watch out with this one though, because this is chlorinated water. See how it's a lot whiter? And hold your breath. Put that in there. All right, once that's done, you're gonna come up here to the filter system. We take the pressure gauge off. Put that in pump basket. Sight glass for the backwash. And O-ring, if you can get it out. Put that in the basket. And then your filter drain plug, which is on the back of the filter over here, which we already took off. So that will come out. So I just put everything in the basket just so we don't lose it. We may have to put a couple of these back in when we're blowing the lines, but everything is in here. When we're done, this is gonna go inside the pump. We will put the drain cap back on the filter. So, all right, let's get to blowing these lines out. So for blowing the lines, we have a specialized fitting we use for these pumps. Every pump that we work with, we have a fitting for. So it's a little different. Like I said, we're professionals at this, so we gotta do these quick. But if you're a homeowner, you can still do this without this. You're just gonna have to hold the blower. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this on the top, on the lid, tighten it up. And then you're just gonna hook the blower right to it. Get it on there nice and tight, and that will stay. So if you didn't have this, what you'd have to do is you'd have to hold this, you know, facing out. And I just realized we have a check valve. This is gonna cause an issue. So for this example, this is actually not gonna work. I just realized there's a check valve here. Should have seen that sooner. So we actually can't blow like we normally would. What's gonna happen is it's gonna hit the check valve and just bounce off. So we want the air to essentially go through the lines. That's not gonna work. So we're gonna have to actually go through this union. So gonna be a little different blowout than we normally do. We can though, however, blow the returns this setup. So we're gonna do that first. So what you're gonna do for that is you're gonna put your multi-port on recirculate. So what's gonna happen is the airflow is gonna come through the pump, blow all the pressure through, and just mimic the water flow essentially. So it's gonna blow all the returns out. So we're gonna do them first, and we're gonna do the skimmers and everything second. So a little opposite of what we normally do, but a little different situation here. So get that all set. We're gonna turn it on, and we're gonna start blowing the returns. So as you can see, we don't have the water drain below the returns. We don't necessarily need that to happen. You see the returns are bubbling, so the two returns are gonna go, this one's gonna go first because it's closer. So we're gonna blow this one and plug this one first, and then we'll do that one second. As you can see, there's not a lot of pressure coming out of here because we got the drain plugs out, so we're gonna have to put them back in. I usually turn the blower on to blow the system out for a minute or two. Once the system's blown out, I'm gonna put some of the plugs back in to get more pressure coming out the returns. All right, so I just put the drain plug in the back of the front of the pump, giving me more pressure. As you see, the return's gonna be bubbling a little bit better now. David's getting ready to plug that far return. This is where you need two people because you've got to either man the blower or you got to watch, you know, the pressure. Whenever you're ready. So he's going to plug that. I'm going to turn this off. What I like to do is just, I call it feathering. I just hit that on off a few times to keep the pressure going until he gets all the way tight. We just double check it. Good? Okay. And then he's just going to check the other plug real quick. We always do this. We always double check plugs. So just tell me when. So what we're doing is we're just checking the plugs to make sure they're sealed. We just, once everything's sealed up, we put a few blasts of air in just to make sure there's no air bubbles. All right, and we're good. So real quick, if we were using this method to blow out the skimmers, what we would do is we would have done that first. We would have taken the multi-port, put it on closed, so that way the air can't go anywhere, and would have blown all the pressure out the suction side. But obviously we're not doing that method, so he's gonna take this union off, and we're gonna slide the pump back, and we're gonna hold the blower in. That's gonna be the way we're gonna have to do this one.
I'm just gonna do it like 30 seconds at a time.
Yep, and I'll just take the pipe out. All right, so what we're doing is he's gonna end up holding the pipe. And what it's gonna do is we're gonna do the close skimmer first, other skimmer, and then we'll do the drain last. So we got this one open, the other's closed, so all the pressure is going to come out and go out the closed skimmer. So whenever he's ready.
100% seal on here, but
that's fine.
I'll get as best I can.
All right, so I'm going to go by the pool so you can see what's going on here. So once he hits that blower, the water's going to come right out the standpipe. We just aim it back to the pool. So essentially what you're going to want to do is just let it blow until all the water's out. But you're going to see there is still a little residual water in the skimmer. So once he's done, he's going to blow it for a little bit. We're going to shut it off, take the pipe out, let that water go into the line, seal it back up, and blow it one more time. And then usually we just let it blow until it's empty. So I just took that pipe out. There's not much residual. A lot of times what we do too is we'll build pressure. We'll put the pipe in front of the pipe and just try to like cup it so more pressure comes out. And you see there's no more water coming out, so we're clear. The goal is to do it until you're clear. So now my next step is I'm going to put antifreeze in, and I'm also going to take the pipe out. So that way the line fills up. So in theory, you technically don't need antifreeze as long as you blow the lines out properly. We like to put antifreeze in the skimmers just in case, a line breaks. A lot of times skimmer lines come down and they kind of bowl up so water can get stuck in there. All right, so once that's in, we're gonna put the plug in. Same with the skimmers, you can use a rubber plug or what's called a gizmo. This customer only has rubber plugs. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the rubber plug in, and we're also gonna put an empty bottle in afterwards to keep from ice, damaging. If you had a gizmo, one of those green cylinders, you'd put that in. That helps from ice breaking the skimmer. So we're gonna put this in right now. All right, so I put the bottle in with a little bit of antifreeze still in it. Now we'll keep from ice cracking the skimmer. Let's go over to the other side. So you see this one's still full of water. What? Yes. Yep. So this one's still got a lot of water. So we're gonna blow it real quick. Get the water out of the pipes, and then we'll pull the pipe out, let this water go down, and we might have to do that a few times. All right, he just shut it off. Hold on a second. Take the pipe out. Let this water fill up. Sometimes it doesn't drink much. So this is where it takes a while. Turn it back on, get that water out. And we're just gonna keep doing that until all the water's out. Normally I just let this pipe go, but we have wet concrete right here, so I can't do that. We have to use this pipe. So this might take a little bit. Go ahead. Go. Yeah, go. Go ahead. Good. Like I said, this is going to take a little while. Normally we would not be doing this. We just let it, blow itself out. But we have wet concrete here, so we got to kind of be careful with where the water goes. Go ahead. Good. Probably 2 more times. Oh, maybe not. Maybe just 1 more time. Go ahead. All right, last one, go. We go till it's clear. This is the last one. And then we're gonna put the antifreeze in like we done the other one. So with the antifreeze, a lot of these skimmers won't take it all, so we just go until it stops, essentially. That way you're not wasting it. And then we'll just put the bottle in with the rest of it. So I'm just gonna grab the plug and we're all set on this one. So last we're gonna do the drain. So with that, I'll show you in a second what we're doing in the shed, but We're gonna shut the 2 skimmer lines so that only the drain line's open. You're gonna see it's just gonna gush up air bubbles in a second. You can see the leaves starting to move. Here comes the air bubbles. So that means basically all the water is being forced out, and then we gotta what's called airlock this. So we're gonna let this blow from it. I'll show you how to airlock it from the shed.
Should airlock it.
So to airlock it, what we did is as it was blowing, we shut the valve so it's off. So that's gonna basically, just like taking a straw and putting your finger over it, when you put it under water, it holds the water from getting in. Same concept. And what we usually do to back that up, make sure all the other lines are shut and off, we also put a little plug in the front of the pump. So that basically keeps the entire system airlocked essentially. So no water can get back in. And that's really about it, blowing out the lines. Now we're just gonna put everything back together, put the pump basket in with the plugs in it, put the plug back in the back of the filter. We usually just leave that a little loose. Make sure your timer's off, your power's off so it doesn't turn back on.
Sure you put your multi-port
Put the,
in
yep,
between.
what he just said, put the multi-port in between or on the winter setting so it dries out. Roll up your backwash hose, and then we're just gonna put the cover on. I'm not gonna show putting the cover on. That's pretty self-explanatory.
Shut the timer off too?
Yep, I said shut the breaker, and yeah, definitely when you shut your power off, make sure all the switches are off. So we not only shut the power switch, we shut the timer and the breaker, so there's no way for this to turn back on. If you can unplug it, unplug it. A lot of steps, I know, but every pool is different. Different circumstances how to close them. It's just the way we did this one. Like I said, we couldn't use the lid. We had to do it a little differently, but essentially it's all the same concept. You just got to be able to get the water out of the lines properly, and there's many different ways to do that. Like I said, we do it professionally, so we have our way of doing it. Homeowners, you know, people do it with an air compressor. There's all different ways to do it. Closing the pool yourself, I do highly recommend getting one of these cyclone blowers. A little more expensive than an air compressor, but we put a small 6-foot piece of hose on it. It can hook right up and blow right out. So real quick, other ways to blow the lines out if you had to is obviously you get your blower. We had to take this union off to blow through this way. Say you had unions on your plumbing, you could take the unions off and hold it through, blow the air out that way. We've blown through skimmers before where we've held it into the skimmer and blown the water out into the pump and the filter. You could blow your returns. Technically, you could take unions off here. You know, you could take the union off here and hold it in here. Really, the main concept is any way to get, you know, every line blown out. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Like I said, we just do it professionally, so this is the fastest way to do it with the lids. We've seen many people just hold the blower in, you know, to the suction side, hold it to the back of the pump, blow out the return side. Like I said, there's really any way to do it. You could blow, you could take the unions off the chlorinator, pull the chlorinator out, hold the blower in that way to do the returns on this one. There's a way you can even, if you have your filter out, you get your standpipe, you can technically put the hose through the standpipe and blow it like it's water. There's really no right or wrong way to do it, as long as you get all the water out of the lines and you blow it long enough that the water's out. You don't want to do it too short and not get it all out. So like I said, this was a pretty basic pool setup too. It wasn't, you know, anything crazy. I have a couple other videos. I don't have a ton of videos on how to close pools on the channel, but we do have a video from last year where we closed a gunite pool with multiple returns, multiple skimmers, and it had a attached spa. That was more in-depth. There was a lot going on in that one. So that might explain a little more of the concepts a little better than this one. But like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do it. As long as you get all the water out of the lines, you know, and make sure everything's blown out, plugs are pulled, there's no water in anything, you're good to go. So hopefully you guys like this video. Like I said, there was a project going on top of this. So if you want to see that project, that's also on the channel. We basically put in and hooked up new skimmer lines. So that's another video we put on the channel. So kind of filmed both in the same day while we're working. So, but hopefully you like this video. Appreciate everybody watching. And I'll do my best if you guys have or need advice for pool stuff, let me know and we'll do our best to get videos and help out.